Yo, we are back with another one. Blue is our city, Manchester City fan channel, bro. And today I'm bringing you part 4 of this series, Manchester City edition, Keep or Sell. The previous videos have been Raheem Sterling, Bernardo Silva, I did Emerick Laporte, and today I'm bringing you part 4 of the installment, which is going to be, should Manchester City sell or should Manchester City keep? None other than this guy right here. Bear with me. I'm on my interactive bag. So we're gonna be talking about John Stones here today. And it's so weird even doing this video, man, because I had to go back and look at all the footage and just kind of do my research, and it was bringing tears to my eyes of some of the moments that John's had. But I definitely got to talk to the community about it and get you guys' thoughts in part 4 of this series. So, but before we get going, I always want to say, yo, shout out to you, the fans, the people who are subscribing to the channel, man, the people who are liking the videos, man, because I've seen all the amazing growth. And I want to say, yo, thank you from the bottom of my heart. It could be possible without you guys. So we've seen a lot of growth over the last few weeks. I appreciate the support. But if you're new to the channel, you're just giving this a first time look through, consider subscribing to the channel if you're enjoying the content, because it doesn't cost you absolutely anything. And it just helps us connect with other Manchester City fans, other football fans all around the world. And that's what this channel is all about. So let's get into it, bro. Manchester City, man, we talking John Stones. Should we keep or sell? And John has had a remarkable year this year. You know what I mean? It just, to see him reemerge on the scene, this year with this golden partnership that he's got with Ruben Diaz has been like magical to even watch. John's had some remarkable moments throughout this season, but we got to talk about it, man. We got to talk about, should we keep or sell as Manchester City look to kind of essentially refresh their squad. So I'm going to give my thoughts at the end, but yo, I'm going to present to you some facts and you guys just make up your own mind. And what do you guys think? Should Manchester City sell or should Manchester City keep John Stones? So the first part I definitely want to get into is that, we have to, let me get in my share screen bag right here. So bear with me. And you guys know I'm an amateur at this. So that's the reason why I kind of do this so slow. But I really like kind of using this StreamYard service to kind of get in the bag. So as I mentioned previously, Manchester City, with the partnership that we've had at the back, it's not the Centurion football that we've come to know, but we are rock solid. And throughout the years, especially under Pep, we haven't really had the best defense, but the defense has been money this year. And a large reason due to that is not only Ruben Diaz, but it's been John Stones. John Stones is definitely, as we look at the 22 appearances, he's had 4 goals this particular year. And then keep in mind, man, we're talking about a player who's still only 27 years old. Now, you might be seeing $33 million over here. We're going to get to that in a second. You know what I mean? But, he's been immense this year. But we always got to look at all the facts. I'm going to present everything to you, and you guys let me know what you guys think. So what I try to do here is I wanted to definitely go back and let's talk about his contributions to Manchester City throughout the years. So as you can see, for Manchester City, he's definitely played about 168 different matches, scored 10 goals. And I damn near want to say half of those goals are scored this season, and he's got picked up 2 assists. The man's also been a little versatile throughout the years, not only play a center back, but can play right back. This defensive midfielder, let me just touch on this real quick, man, because I don't even know if people even remember this. You guys don't remember the 18-19 season, where Pep was, in my opinion, Pep wasn't feeling him at this time, man, because we had a shortage, of talent, especially with the center backs, and Pep just threw this man out there at CDM. Man. I want to see the people even remember him playing CDM for those 7 matches, but in that particular year, man, I don't think Pep was really feeling him that much, you know what I mean? So, but let's kind of go back through the years. So obviously we got him at an early time, and I'm gonna touch upon that in a second, but when we look at the 16-17 season, this is Guardiola's first year with Manchester City. The man was definitely a part of the squad, man, and he was definitely building on something because the man, we had Vincent Kompany at the time, we had Otamendi at the time. I think Mangala was on his way out of the club because I don't think Pep ever fancied him pretty much, but we had to have a ball player center back just because it's Manchester City, and that's what Pep likes to do. But as you can see here, the man played 41 different matches for Manchester City, scored 2 goals that particular year, across all competitions. Then we progress into the next year. And you could see the numbers start dwindling down. Let me get into why those numbers start dwindling down, but he definitely played 29 matches in this particular year, scored, 3 goals that they say here, in that 18 season. And this was our Centurion season. And the reason why I want to talk about this season in particular is that at this particular time, man, John Stones was building a relationship with Vincent Company. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen this, but it's on the Manchester City it's on the Manchester City channel on YouTube. And I think it's Vincent Company picks his all-time Manchester City starting 11. And you could tell Vinny was grooming this man to be a captain. And I always say to myself, why was John Stones never a captain? He's never rocked the captain's armband, in my opinion. I could be wrong on that, but I don't really believe he's ever rocked the captain's armband. But you could tell Vinny was grooming this man to be a captain. It's a damn shame that this man has never rocked the captain's armband, to my knowledge. But in Manchester City's starting 11 for Vincent Company, go back and watch it if you get a chance, because he talks about the unique qualities that John has, about him being a natural defender, about him being a ball player center back. And out of all the center backs he could have picked, it could have been Lescott, it could have been Otamendi, it could have been whoever, but he picked John Stones in his starting 11 for Manchester City. And I thought that was so interesting. So give it a chance. So go back and watch it if you can, because I really think that Vinny was kind of grooming this man to be a captain right around this team. And I thought it was a shame he never actually got a chance to really rock the captain's armband, right? So we're going to progress on through the years, and hold up, we're looking at 1920. I'm going to skip over 1819 because 1819 was a little unique in its own, but at this point, you can definitely see that he's rocking around. He's probably around 24 games being played that particular year. Now, one thing we know about John is John has picked up a bunch of injuries throughout the course of his time here at Manchester City, but it goes to show you, man, that the man definitely had talent and the man has some versatility, you know what I mean? And those are some of the most highlighted moments, in my opinion, for John Stones. Now, let me stop sharing this as I transition. So, like I mentioned, we're talking about selling or keeping John Stones. Now, let's kind of get into this transfer, because when I think about transfers, and I really think about asking myself who's going to come in, because there's been some chatter about, Arsenal possibly coming in for John Stones at one point. Mikel Arteta being able to link up with John and bring him over to Arsenal and kind of recapture some of his form. That was pretty much prior to this year. And then now John has had such a great season that there might be some value in trying to really sell John Stones to see if we can pick up some extra money. So let's kind of dive deep into that right now. So bear with me as I get back in my screen sharing bag. So let me do this. And once I get this here we're going to go to right now. So you always got to start at the beginning, right? So obviously we know that we picked him up from Everton, back in the 2016 season when Guardiola came in, because Guardiola, like I mentioned before, needed a center back who was a ball playing center back. And we paid a good amount of money for him. We paid 47.5 million pounds at the time for him. And then you also had some, add-on fees there, which is much deserved, and now this is where I want to transition to with this, because when I saw this number, and shout out to these guys over at Transfer Market US for doing their thing, but I looking at this number, I'm mad butthurt looking at this number, and I'm like, what's going on right now? We're not even talking pounds, we talking dollars. That this man's at $33 billion. I'm like, this got to be an error. So let's kind of look at this and see what's going on here, right? So obviously, I just told you what we paid for him. But as you can look at his numbers, when we had him, kind of steady Eddie for those, that first season, but then started picking up, climbing a little bit, underneath the tutelage of the all-time captain, in my opinion, which is none other than Vincent Kompany. Still a young lad at the age of 23, England international, adds to his value, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And then look at this, man. The value was steadily going up at that 2018 year, right? Late in 18. And then it peaked right at 66 million. I'm saying to myself, them numbers should have been much higher than that. But then all of a sudden, you see like the bell curve action, and the numbers just keep going down. And this is due to the fact that, we bought an Emmerich Laporte at this time. John was not playing. And there's sometimes where John has been injured that he just couldn't play due to injury. But then there's also been times where Pep just hasn't utilized the man due to, you'll read rumors about John's availability, which is true about him being injured, but you'll also read rumors about, things going on in his personal life. Now, let me be clear on this. I don't do this on this channel, bro. I don't care about your personal life. Your personal life is your personal life. And I don't think anybody should be getting into your personal life or what you got going on, long as there's no domestic violence and people call the cops. Other than that, bro, just get your situation underneath together. But as long as you showing up on the pitch, I'm not into that. But those are just rumors and I don't want to speculate, right? But you can see that the numbers just keep going down. And now we're looking at this time right now, peaked a little bit this year. And I'm saying to myself, yo, we got to get that peak up a little bit. You know what I mean? Because we're looking at the numbers and I'm like, yo, them numbers is not good. So let's look at these numbers a little bit further. So this is his injury history. So it has a lot to do with this, in my opinion. I'm going to show you another factor as we go through here when we talk about his injuries. But you can see John's always kind of picked up injuries. And I think his most extensive stint was back in 2018, where he missed 12 games in our Centurion year. He missed 12 games, but that's 42 days with hamstring injury. Then he picks up, an abductor muscle injury. He picks up groin strains, muscle injuries. So he's had a lot of injuries, but they don't really be that extensive for me, in my opinion. But some of them are. Like if you look at 2019, out 28 days, but only really missed 3 matches. You know what I'm saying? And then the same muscle injury reoccurs again next season to where he's out 35 days and he misses 8 games. You know what I mean? So maybe Pep is a big person, and Pep believes on your best ability is availability. You guys have definitely heard me say that throughout the time. So John has definitely picked up his injuries throughout the years, but in this season, he's been, fairly healthy, you know what I mean? And then forming that partnership with Ruben Diaz has just been money for him. Now, we got to look at something else. We also got to take a look at his contract situation, because that has a lot to do with his numbers. Pardon me real quick. But you can see that we got the man basically signed up for next year, that it's over, it's a wrap. And the club has a decision it has to make, you know what I mean? As far as now there is some chatter that we're looking to extend him, but it's like, what do we do with all these different center back options that we got? Because if John has a great year this year, is John going to be really trying to sit on the bench next year in case Pep Guardiola falls out of love with him? So we got to look at these numbers and we got to kind of take what we can get. And that really explains why the numbers are so low there. But the one thing I want to say, let me stop this. Let's kind of get back over here in the StreamYard bag to show the one thing I've always liked about this guy is that, this guy's always had energy. Even back in these days when we look at John, John's always been a player that I think has always had good leadership qualities. And I'm going to get into my pros and cons here in a second. But, we're talking about a young lad who came in, who's always been good on the ball. But if you look at him from this picture over to this picture, you can tell he's much stronger of a person. And John, in my opinion, and I love looking at this picture, man, not only because John's always so excited, but look at the background. Look how happy Raheem Sterling is for him. You know what I mean? And that's what I really like. This I had to make this video very difficult to do this when I was finding these images, because I love seeing, teammates happy for other teammates. And, when you see John score, especially this year, John always does some kind of crazy run over to the sideline with his arms out, but you can see how happy the boys are for him. So that's always a big plus for me. Now, I'm going to get into some of these pros and cons when it comes to talking about John, right? The pros about John that we know is that John's had definitely great leadership abilities. I don't know why Guardiola's never chosen him to rock the captain's armband. I'm not going to get into that, but we know he's our best ball player center back, in my opinion. Now, another pro that people don't really talk about is that, in my opinion, John is faster than Ruben Diaz. He is faster than Enric Laporte. But Nathan Ake, I'm not too sure on that one. But I would go as far as to say John is our fastest center back, because you could look at a time like, especially this year. Remember when we played against Arsenal and Aubameyang was running out on the left, John caught up to him, and then he showed the little strength. So John's been in the weight room, showed him a little strength and kind of put him on his backside. And we as City fans, we was watching that like, yeah, get him, John. So we kind of love those moments. Aubameyang, you got to be stronger in those moments, but John, you did your thing right there. But those are one of the highlights for me. So not only is he, versatile, can play a few different positions, but he's also fast, and then he's also our best ball player center back with some good leadership qualities. The cons when it comes to John is kind of what I just showed you, which is seriously, it is the fact that, a lot of people, I'm over here in the United States, so I watch a lot of ESPN FC, and you heard me talk about this in other videos, and there's other people too, whether it be BT Sport. A lot of people always talk about John having a mistake in his bag. You always kind of hear a lot of talk about, John's solid, but, sometimes John has a mistake in him. You kind of always hear that a little bit. My mic looks kind of goofy right now, but, we're going to bear with me for a second right there. You could tell I'm an amateur when I do this, but, that's one of the cons about John. John definitely always has, a mistake in him, but I don't think it's to the level of extent that everybody tries to push out there. That's just in my personal opinion. Another con about John is John does have an injury history, right? So that's one thing about John. And then the con I'm really going to say is not really about John, but it is more about Pep. For instance, just as much as Pep played him this year, bro, you could be looking at next year where Pep is not giving the man any game time. Yeah, that's just the way Pep rolls with him for some reason. And my opinion, I've always talked about this in other videos. John is one of those players, bro, where you got John on the squad, bro, you just got to leave him alone. Let him do his thing, man. Don't be trying to get up in his headspace and stuff like that. But that's just a slight con, but it doesn't really have anything to do with John, in my opinion. It just has something to do with the way Pep Guardiola falls in love with him and the way Pep Guardiola could easily fall out of love with him. But I will say this one thing right here, man. It's time to get back interactive. So before I definitely want to know what you guys' thoughts are on should we keep or should we sell him? But John, this one's for you, man. This one's for you because I will always, no matter whether I'm going to render my verdict here in a second or just my thoughts and my opinion of what we should do. But the one thing I will tell you, John, is I'm always going to be thankful to you for one particular moment. And people never give you credit for this, Playboy, but it's because of you, man. And this is the reason why probably Vinny shouted you out, man, because I remember the interview after the game. You see how happy Vinny was, and then you look at John's face, and John's definitely a little younger than what he is now as far as like his body development. But let me get back in my share bag, man, because I will always be thankful to you for this, John. No doubt. So let's get to it. Bear with me 1 second. I hope I don't get in trouble for doing this, but let's go through it. Who remembers? Who remembers before I press play, baby? Who remembers? Because this was the moment, baby. Mo Salah's driving. Then all of a sudden, he's got Sadio Mane off the post. John's trying to clear it, comes off of Edison. Then John's like, no, Playboy. And that moment right there, in my opinion, definitely helped us win the actual Premier League title. Because if Liverpool would have won it, bro, at that particular time, man, it could have been a little bit different. But I want to say, thank you, John, for that particular moment. And I will always be thankful to you for that, man. So let me kind of just say that. So let me render the verdict here, in my opinion, on what we should do. This is obviously a tough one, knowing that John's had a great season this year. But I'm going to say that we should sell John. And this is the reason why I'm going to say that we should sell John. I know a lot of people will be triggered by this, but hear me out. You feel free to let your thoughts be known. But I think that forget that $33 million that we just saw. I think his value is a little higher than that. We're going to pump hopefully he has a good Euros right now. John, you need to do the Euros. I even got on my Belgium jersey or my Belgium kit right here. I go back and forth between Belgium and then France. But, hopefully John has a good Euros, and I'm excited for the Euros to kick off tomorrow. But, I really hope he has a good Euros because that should elevate his value a little bit. He's only 27 years old. And, he's an England international, so he should have a little bit more value. But between Diaz, Ake, Laporte, and John Stones, somebody's going to be in there have to be left out. And I've already made a video on part 3 about Emerick Laporte. Emerick Laporte is not the type of guy who's just going to be sitting around. He's just not. And it's going to be very tough for John to even have to go back to the bench next year if Pep Guardiola decides to do that with him. But, in my opinion, I really think we could get about 50 to 60 million dollars right now. The only thing hurting us right now is the fact that John only has 1 year left on his deal. But I really think it's about time that John moves on. John's been a great servant to this club. He's done his thing. He's been patient. He's had to deal with the playing and not playing thing and then reasserting himself. But I feel like his time has come at Manchester City because, like I mentioned previously in the video, Vinny was grooming this man to be a captain. And for whatever reason, we know we got Sergio. We know we got, or at least we had Sergio prior to really doing this video, but we got Ferner in the squad. We seen Raheem Sterling rock the captain's armband. We seen Kevin rock the captain's armband. But John has never ascended to that natural position of leadership with this squad. And I think that if he moves on, he will have a chance to go to another club and be a captain of that club. And, sometimes you can't really hold it against players, man, because some players want to kind of get to that level. And I feel like that window has closed for him because I'm not too sure Guardiola's going to even make him a captain again or have that opportunity. And Vinny was grooming him. So imagine if he went to another club, at 27, 28 years old, John could be rocking that captain's armband, be a leader and use those qualities there. And then we can get, let's say 50, 60 million dollars to go sign Kane or something like that, or bring in Haaland, something like that. So that's just my thoughts on the verdict. But please let me know what you guys are thinking down below. Am I wilded for saying something like that? I know I'm not trying to trigger anybody. I'm just trying to deliver the verdict the way I see it. But John, like I said in this video, I will always be thankful for you. So I'm concluding part 4 right now. I hope everybody's getting ready for tomorrow. Should be an exciting day going into the weekend as the Euros start. But next up in part 5 of this series, who we talking about? Benjamin Mendy. Number part 5. So definitely look out for that. I'll probably be doing that around Saturday. I'll get that out to you guys Saturday morning is when I'm trying to do that video. But next up, Benjamin Mendy. But I want to say, thank you for tuning into the channel like always, bro. Bruise Our City, Manchester City fan channel. Bro, let me know what you guys think, man. Should we sell or should we keep John Stones? Until the next one, peace.